Hey there, this is Thad Skidmore with Flat Fee Realty. Hope you guys are doing great. On a sunny afternoon here in Northwest Arkansas, we're finally getting some great weather and a little breezy, but the spring is here and looking forward to some more hot weather. Hope you guys are doing well today. This is living in Northwest Arkansas at Thad Skidmore, and today I just want to talk about hiring an agent in the marketplace that you're looking to purchase in. You know, there's several things that you kind of want to look for. Online reviews are great, but you know, you might validate that too with some of the people if it has their names and numbers, or ask the agent if he can get you some names and numbers of people they've done business with. If you want to call them, kind of go through their experiences with that agent. To me, I try to put myself in a customer's shoes, knowing what I know now, and I believe that's very important, kind of having their experience, talking to some of their past clients. If you can get those contacts and visit with those people personally, it'll give you a better grasp of who you're getting ready to hire, because, you know, let's face it, you're going to be in a relationship with them if you're getting a loan probably for 30 to 40 days, hopefully not any longer than that. Once you get under contract, it's going to take that long. So, you know, it could be several months before you get under contract, depending on the market that you're in and the inventory or lack of inventory. So knowing who you're going to work with, in my opinion, is a key step in the process. So if you can get some names and numbers of people they've worked with, or have them send you a list. A lot of times, like for me, example, I've been on teams in the past, and they get the reviews and their marketing team does what they want to with them. But got several clients, you know, that would provide that information for me, and be more than happy to visit with some of the prospective people that are thinking about hiring an agent. You know, secondly, I would say trust. How you develop trust in this business is basically doing what you say you're going to do. So if you tell me, hey, I'm going to get you some comps. And I know things happen, people get busy, things slip through the cracks, but I would think developing the trust is basically integrity, doing what you say you're going to do. Showing up on time is an easy one. I know some agents here that don't show up on time. So developing that trust, maybe as you're going through the process, I think that continues to build and add credibility. So you got visibility as well, actually seeing the agent and knowing who you're working with. No secret agents. We've got Northwest Arkansas, and then you've got Southwest Missouri. You've got a lot of agents in Missouri maybe advertising in Northwest Arkansas, but do they really live here and know what's going on with the dynamics of Northwest Arkansas? You got to be careful with that, because I think there's a lot of marketing going on where they're not transparent. And are they really living in Northwest Arkansas, and do they have a good vibe of what's actually going on? Because Northwest Arkansas is evolving quickly. You know, every time I'm driving around, I see a new subdivision, new development, new commercial development. Things are just popping around here. So back to trust, basically doing what they say they're going to do. And, you know, on that trust factor, when you sign a buyer's agreement, and I think we're going to be running into that more with these new laws, where the buyer's agreements are, you know, us as agents, we're going to need to get those signed on the front end and have those conversations with the new law that's passing in July. On the cancellation clause, maybe make sure, negotiate with them and see if you can get maybe a $0 cancellation clause on there, to where you can cancel your agreement at any time. Because if, you know, maybe you felt good on the front end with them, but then you get into the end of the transaction, into house hunting, and they're not doing what they said they were going to do, or your expectations of them are not there, and maybe you give them an opportunity to correct that. But if it continues, I mean, me as a consumer, I would want to be able to get out of that contract and work with another agent. Make sure, if you can, get a $0 cancellation clause on that, and that'll give you some out if you're not feeling that trust, or if it's starting to get watered down, or your expectations aren't there with your agent. That's something I would do if I was a consumer, knowing what I know now. Communication is going to be huge for you. You know, one of the biggest purchases of your guys' life, I would assume. So you want to make sure you're with an agent that is always communicating with you. Some are on teams, which is good, but they've got their back end people communicating with you. But you're the consumer, right? So you tell them how you kind of want to be communicated with, if that's going to be texting, emailing, calling. Some people just like to text these days, which is fine. But sometimes a text, if it's a really in-depth conversation, I recommend an email or a phone call. Phone calls are always good because text messages can come across different with the tonality. People read into the text messages sometimes wrong. So if it's something crucial, always do a phone call. And if your agent's not willing to answer the phone, that's a big red flag to me. I know we're busy as agents, but if they're not answering your calls or at least getting back to you in a timely fashion, that's a red flag, which goes back to that trust factor again. So communicating is huge in this time, especially with lack of inventory. Time is of the essence. If you find a house, we really need to jump on that because there's, I think in this market anyways, 30 to 40 people a day moving into Northwest Arkansas, and our inventory is just not there for the buyers. So if we find one and it's a real popular property, we need to, communicate, have some backup plans in place if we're not able to communicate really quick, but or have another agent on a backup plan on that team. Those are things I would put in place if I was looking to purchase in any market that you're going into. That's something crucial, is communication. Years of experience. You want to make sure you're with an agent that's been in the trenches. I'll just leave it at that. The more transactions we do as agents, the more things we see, the more experiences we have, the more things we can share with our clients, the more pitfalls we can kind of head you off to that direction. You see the red flags that are popping up. Help you avoid some of those pitfalls that we've learned in the past from kind of getting scarred up and beat up. So, you got to start somewhere. I know I did as well. Luckily, I had a great mentor when I started in the business, and I had about 20 years of mortgage experience too. So that's another big key is, does your agent know what houses fit the loans? Some agents don't know that. They learn pretty quick, again, when they get beat up or learn the hard way. But making sure they're putting you on the correct houses based on your qualifications, and has your lender actually scrubbed the file before we go out and spend money and time looking at these houses. Because if your lender said, hey, you're qualified for $500,000, but then when they actually get your income docs, or the underwriter gets your income documentation, because you're self-employed, there's more write-offs on there, or they'd figured the income incorrectly as a loan officer, you're only qualified for 400. Well, that's a whole nother tier of houses that we've you've already seen these houses with the agent on the $500,000 price range, and now you're looking at $400,000, which they're still great houses, but it's not a $500,000 house. So make sure you're working with an agent that knows some great lenders in the local area. I've had success with some online lenders, but I would prefer my clients working with local lenders here that I know, because that I have a relationship with, and I know that they're actually scrubbing the file. I've had success with them. I know they're not giving me a watered down pre-approval, taking the income over the phone, pulling credit, throwing it through desktop underwriter, which everything's an automated underwriting system until they actually get it to an underwriter to verify things. So make sure that you're dealing with somebody that can get you the right information in a timely fashion, get you with the right resources, and also make sure they've got some other vendors for you, especially if you're moving from out of state into another area. You're going to need a whole new network of people. So, want to make sure they've been here for a little bit, they've got experience under their belt, and they've got some other vendors they can recommend to you. For example, moving companies, title companies, home inspectors, contractors. You're going to need some contractors. There's no such thing as a perfect house. Home warranty companies, make sure the agents are talking to you about the home warranty companies for the first year, especially if you're buying a resale. And then you're also going to want an agent that is giving you fast service. I think we talked earlier in the video that time is of the essence. When there's properties, lack of inventory, you're going to have to jump on those properties. So You want to have somebody that's quick service. You know they're going to get back to you in a timely fashion, because once you find that property, it's like you're ready to go. We got to jump on it. Now, if we're in now we're talking about this kind of market where there's limited inventory, where you're moving to an area that's hot, progressive, growing. These are the markets I'm talking about. If you're looking in other markets, maybe that they have 5 to 6 months of inventory, that's a whole nother discussion. You probably have a little bit more time and probably a little bit more leverage on your offers. The way we look at them here is days on market. If you see a house that you really like, but it's been on the market for 60 days, we probably have some negotiation, unless it's just one of those freak deals where this happens a lot when the house has been on the market and all of a sudden everybody's coming out to look at it at the same time and make offers at the same time. That just really still to this day baffles me how that can happen, but it does. A property that's not getting any action, all of a sudden you've got everybody and their brother coming out to look at it. Be with an agent that you can tell has some experience, builds integrity with you. You feel good working with them, and communicating with them. They've got fast service and they've got some great resources. I think those are the key things of hiring an agent. And the main thing is you just want to be able to get in touch with them. If you need to have an important conversation, get in touch with them. Make sure they return your calls, address all your concerns. Have a list of maybe things that you're looking for in an agent, maybe have that conversation. Have some questions, have some things that you're expecting, some check boxes for, some top 5 things you expect in your agent. Let them know that that's what you're looking for. Be selective, take some time. I know with a lot of the Zillow, people are just going with the first agent that calls them back on the house that they're looking at. So I would do some digging on that, especially with what's changing coming out in July. If I can be of any help or a resource for you, this is Thad Skidmore with Flat Fee Realty, living in Northwest Arkansas at Thad Skidmore. If you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel. You can email me, text me, or call me 479-200-0863. And I do have other agents in other markets that I know I'd be glad to recommend them to you if you're needing some help in some different areas. Take care.